Alrighty. Hey, everybody, welcome to Tell Me About You. Today, we have the wonderful, the talented Brennan, who will tell you who he is and all of who he is.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Nice to quote unquote meet you. I'm Brennon Edwards. I am originally from Grand Blanc, Michigan, which is a suburb of Flint, Michigan. I moved to Los Angeles as one of the people who just came out here with a dollar and a dream, literally. Just packed up everything I could fit in my car when I was 24 and just drove out to LA. Ended up stumbling into the film industry, which was not the plan. I came here for the weather, to be honest. Stumbling to the film industry, working as a producer. Started in the first project. The first job I stumbled into was working on the X Factor in the corporate offices, which was crazy. And then that from that led me to a bunch of different producer positions at different networks, like the BBC. I got to be a producer on Top Gear, and a lot of travel channel shows, and Nat Geo and stuff like that. And learned how to make really really powerful content with really really dope people. Figured it wasn't rocket science. Started a company with a guy named Tony Valentino in 2015. Our first project was to shoot a pilot for a TV show that we wanted to do that was like our Anthony Bourdain of music. So he traveled the world and experienced the world through music, not food. And we went to Cambodia, we shot that, it went great, came back, showed people, they're like, this is amazing, but we only know that. But if you made this, can you make this? And that's how the company started. Had a bunch of different clients over the years, from nonprofit like the Sierra Club or Bloomberg Philanthropies, to Clean Energy for America, a lot of renewable energy spaces and all that, to also on the side working with influencers and comedians like Tony Baker and Kevonstage. Originally, Tony Baker was the first one we worked with because my business partner loved his comedy. And then we just, kind of said, hey, we'll start shooting stuff for you. Took over his YouTube channel. That led us to meet a lot of the other comedians, including Kev. And then over the pandemic, we had to switch our whole business model from being a traditional production company to start working more in the influencer space. We came up with the idea for the Keep Your Distance comedy show, presented it. Kev loved it, did it, went great. He presented us the idea of doing an app, Kevonstage Studios streaming service. We said, sure, partner with that, did that. And now we're kind of in the world of both, where we do some influencer stuff and we do some traditional production stuff. And I'm the captain of it all. So I'm the CEO of Transit Pictures, and yeah, I'm currently sitting in our studio. We have a 10,000 square foot studio in Silmar, California. It has a sound stage, a green screen studio, two podcast spaces, and a bunch of office space, and then a warehouse to store all of our gear. And that's who I am, and that's what I did. Boom. Questions.
Like, that is so. Again, you said that you came out to California for the weather and you
I did.
stumbled upon all of these amazing things. So it's like, my God, like I know you did a lot, but when you went down, I'm like, oh my days, you did everything and then some.
I mean, I think it sounds more impressive than it is. Like, it was a lot of struggle, is what I'd say. It's not necessarily like, oh yeah, I just got here. It was just like, boom, look at that opportunity. Like I was houseless for like a year when I first got out here. So I was like couch surfing and, taking showers in the gym, sleeping in my car, which I wasn't upset about. I wasn't like, oh no, I'm houseless or whatever. I was just like, this is what I signed up for. I knew I didn't have a job when I got out here. I knew I had no money when I brought myself out here. So I signed up to struggle. And so yeah, it was a thing, so that happened and it was exceptionally difficult. And the opportunities that I had didn't come out of thin air. They came from attitude, perseverance, and consistency. Is that my attitude when I came out here is that I was going to happily help whoever I can as much as I can for free until somebody recognizes me and decides that it's time to pay me because what I do is excellent. And so the reason that I got the job at the X Factor is because I volunteered at a little black box theater play to be a stage manager, even though I didn't know what that was. The director was awesome and taught me how to be a stage manager. Killed it. Didn't miss a cue the very last show. Someone just comes up to me and asks me to take me to lunch. Interviews me at lunch. Didn't know it was an interview. Invites me to start a new job. Didn't know what the job was. Didn't know what the X Factor was. Didn't know any of that. I just walked into it and I did it. And then again, I took that same attitude. Even though I was being paid, I was going to happily help whoever I can as much as I can. I gravitated towards the producers and I went above and beyond my job and decided to befriend them as well as consistently ask them if they need any help with anything. And so they started giving me menial tasks that they didn't want to do. And they realized like, oh, this guy's good at everything we give him. And so by the time that job ended, they started getting other opportunities to be producers on other projects that they might not necessarily want, but like, Brennan probably can handle this. And that's how I got an opportunity to be a producer for the first time. And so it's not so much just like oh yeah, I just showed up and then the sun was shining and then I, was like smiled and everybody was like, yeah, here's all these opportunities. It's like, no, I worked. I worked and I had the right attitude to be able to get there. And then after I got the opportunities, then I worked even harder. And so yeah, that's what I would say. Like those are the things that really got it across the finish line. Of course, blessings and luck were a part of that as well. Because if I moved out to California today, if I moved out here today and attempted to do what I did, then it wouldn't work. And the reason it wouldn't work is because the industry ain't the same. There aren't a bunch of TV shows shooting in LA anymore. There used to be. And so you can't just get a job as a producer because somebody recommends you anymore. It's just like jobs are scarce, and the people who typically worked in the industry before now are struggling to get work. So, much more experienced people are taking all the jobs that normally they wouldn't.
Dang.
So,
Oh, look, Chris.
so did he go to school for this, or
Yeah,
did he
did you
like?
go to school for any of this?
No, I went to school for political science. I went to Oakland University in Michigan. Um, no, I
Oh,
didn't go to school for any of it. I mean, the thing is like, like if you're good at learning, then you're good at learning.
Yeah.
So like I was, I didn't care about political science when I went to school, to be honest. I just did it because it played towards my strengths and I wanted a degree so that I could, every time an adult told me what I should be doing, I could just put it up to them and tell them, I already did everything you told me to do. Now shut up and I'm gonna do what I want to do. So I
Mm.
got my degree and then I went to California, did what I want to do and decided I want to be houseless. What you gonna tell me? Like you told me if I go to school, get good grades, get my degree, then my life will be put out in front of me. And I've done everything you told me to do. I did all that. So shut up. And that was my energy. So shut up and let me work. I'm saying, let this brother cook. That was the energy. And, I did enjoy, studying political science because I chose it partially because it was during the time of Barack Obama's campaign. You know what I'm saying? Like I got to study politics during the first Yes We Can Obama campaign. So, I mean, what better time, what better energy? It was incredible. Um, so yeah, I mean it's cool.
That's crazy. It's just where you. So wait, out of all the things, when you went out to California, like you said, being a producer wasn't necessarily on the list. What
No,
was
I didn't know anything about the entertainment industry. I had never thought past you turn on the TV and things are just there. Like I never was just like it's just like it's magic, it's there. I never really considered what making something looks like or sounds like at all. I worked on one small production in Detroit and I didn't know I was working as a producer. Somebody just asked me to help them source the locations and do all kind of stuff. And I was like, sure. And I just helped them out and just did it. I was like, oh, that was fun. Like it was just like a fun hobby side thing. And they're like, you're a producer. And I was just like, in one ear, out the other. Like I just did not care. And so I didn't even think about that experience when I came out here at all. Like I just came out here, it was just like this weather is amazing. And I think that I have potential to be able to be useful or create something wherever I go. I've done it. I went in high school, I got into I got elected into the prom stuff. You know what I'm saying? In college, I was just running a bunch of student organizations and was like that guy on campus when I was there. So I was like, no matter where I get put, I'm going to build community and I'm going to be one of the leaders in that community. And so I'm just going to go to a bigger community so that I have more that I can do in that space. No, and I was like, and whatever that community looks like should be warm. Because I grew up in Michigan and I'm done. I'm done with this weather. And so the biggest communities in New York and LA. New York has snow as well. So LA it was.
just nothing that has to do with snow? Absolutely nothing, huh? Just absolutely not.
Where are you from again?
We're in Illinois. So we down the street from that good Michigan. So we
Yeah,
know
you get
what
it.
the snow look like. We know what it look like. Do,
Yeah, yeah, I'm
do I
good.
take trips?
Like,
Do I take trips to, warmer states, during the colder periods? Possibly. But no,
have you ever lived anywhere but Illinois?
I lived in Alabama.
For how long?
I lived in Alabama. Oh, how long did we live there? I lived there till I was like 7. I lived there till I was like 7. So I got all the southern stuff. And then when I came up here, it was a shell shock because I'm just like, what is all of this? In Alabama, it snowed one time. Up here,
Yeah.
it snows every winter. What's happening today? It was a whole.
And the difference, I would say that you're borderline truly being able to understand the difference. just because you were so young. But my biggest point is that like as a child and growing up until I was 24 years old, I believed that the weather was like it was in Michigan everywhere in the world, and that the only reason that it changed when we would go sometimes go on vacation was because that was vacation. You know what I'm saying? Like we're going on vacation, so the weather has to be nice because we're on vacation. I couldn't even fathom the idea that there were places on this planet that it was sunny and beautiful every single day. You know, most people still can't actually fathom and understand that, but that's Los Angeles. It is beautiful every day. Like it's 365 days in a year. I say it's cloudy, maybe 15, maybe,
No,
you
that's
know, and it's just like it's just amazing. And so for me, it's like compared to where I'm from and you know, the Midwest, it's just like it's sunny maybe 15. You know what I'm saying? Like and so I just, you know, you wouldn't believe what that does for your mood and your energy and all that kind of stuff.
no, I understand when because I stayed in San Diego for a couple of years and I was like, what is
There you
this?
go.
Like
Thank you. See, that's what I was looking for.
I
See,
was
how
like,
you gonna talk about Alabama? Like San
that's
Diego
where it
is
started.
it.
That's where it started. That's where it started.
Yeah, yeah, but how old were you when you lived in San Diego?
I was, ooh, how old am I now? I think I was like
Yeah,
20.
you were an adult. You're an adult. So
Yeah,
you
I was an
lived
adult.
there and you were just like, this is every day,
Oh,
right?
the one thing, it was so funny because where I was staying at, they said it was supposed to storm. And I heard thunder and I was like, what is that? Like, where am I at right now? What's going on? And they were like, oh, okay, it was supposed to rain. I said, oh, at this time of year? Okay, if that's what y'all do. Them three extra times it's supposed to rain. Just gonna surprise me today. It's whatever.
Yeah.
But no, San Diego, I don't know how you deal with LA traffic. I don't. I went up there a couple times and I hated everything about it. I said, no, not this traffic.
Well, the thing is, like, no matter where you live, there's going to be something you have to deal with. And so living in the Midwest, you have to wake up every day and you have to look at the weather and you have to dress and prepare yourself according to the weather. How you have to warm up your car, how you have to, what kind of jackets and clothes you get to wear, how often you get to be outside, what events are occurring outside or indoors, what things are appropriate to go and not go to, are all determined by the weather. And so the weather controls a big part of your life. And
Mm,
so here, that's not the case. I don't wake up and look at the weather. I never think about it. Like I never even open the weather app because I know it's going to be beautiful and sunny every day. It's either going to be warm or it's going to be hot. That's it. Those are the two options. And so you're like, I don't know how you could deal with the traffic. I'm like, I'll take that traffic 10 times out of 10 so that it's not snowing, raining, and cloudy in my on my face 9 out of 10 days. And so yeah, there is traffic, but at the same time, that's a that's what I deal with. And at the same time, you only deal with traffic when you don't know what you're doing. You're not from here. You know what I'm saying? Like for me,
mm,
my drive to my office today was 10 minutes.
damn.
You know what I'm saying? With zero traffic because I know where my office is and I live in a place that's against traffic. And so I
Mm,
know I go north in the morning, there's not going to be any traffic. I go south in the evening, there's not going to be any traffic. If you're driving all the way through downtown Los Angeles every single day, of course you're going to be dealing with traffic, but most people don't do that. People who live here don't do that. That's for the tourists. They're just like, I want to go from San Diego, I want to go from North Hollywood all the way down to Santa Monica at 4 p.m. Like, well, good luck. You know what I'm saying? This is the
exactly.
second most populous city on the planet. You know, like, you don't think there's going to be traffic? No, excuse me, on the planet. I'm sorry, in the United States, second most populated city in the United States. You don't think there's going to be traffic? Like, for me, the worst traffic I've experienced is Manila and Atlanta. Those
Atlanta
two places
traffic is trash. It is
is
trash.
trash. And the places that I've experienced that don't have traffic don't have shit to do either. So you're like, oh yeah, you got to deal with traffic all the time. Like, all right, then what do you do for fun? Nothing, because there's nowhere to go. That's why everybody stays home. And there's not even that many of everybody. So come at me all you want about the traffic. I'll take the traffic with the weather and all the cool things to do.
Yeah, when I was in San Diego, it was a lot of stuff to do. I could wake up in the midst of the night, be 1 o'clock in the
Yep,
morning, and be like, oh, I have an assortment of restaurants I could possibly go to. As opposed to
absolutely.
me living in the Midwest, like if you live anywhere in the Midwest besides Chicago, you're not going to get those options. You're going to get
Nope.
none of them options. So it's
Mm-mm.
either McDonald's or maybe Taco Bell. And I don't like neither one of them places. So I'm just stuck at home anyway. That's why
I'm
I
just
travel
saying.
so much. That's why I travel so much right there.
The thing is, like, I would travel. I've been very fortunate because of my career. I've been able to travel extensively.
Mhm.
But the cool thing about living in Los Angeles is you don't feel an urge to travel because most people travel for what you already have.
Oh, I like that mindset because I
Mhm.
because I would have
You
never
travel for weather, you travel for exotic experiences, you travel for beautiful people and food experiences. I can drive in 30 minutes in almost any direction, and find a whole new world. in this area. So, oh man, it's like it's really hot. Like, okay, I'll drive up to a mountain lake in Lake Arrowhead and be able to go experience a forest on top of a mountain that also has a big old lake and an insular community. There's only one way in and one way out for the most part. Like, oh yeah, but like I'm trying to hit some waves. All right, well, I'll drive in that direction. I'll go down to the beach,
Mm,
and it's just like get some seafood, surf, whatever. It's just like, I want some desert. Go that direction into the Joshua Tree. It's like it's literally whatever your taste is, you got it here. So, I mean, I know I'm a fanboy of LA, but it's like I've lived here for dang, how long have I lived here? 2012 to now, about 12 years, 13 years, and I'm still not sick of it. Like only thing that bothers me about it is how expensive it is. But in my opinion, you get what you pay for.
yeah, it is true. And from when I lived out in San Diego, I realized that the only thing that was expensive was like purchasing like a home and stuff. That was the
Yep.
only thing that was expensive to me. I had
Yeah, the food and stuff like that is the same. Like
it's a
everything else is pretty
done.
simple. Yeah.
Like in fact, it was cheaper. The food out there was cheaper to me than it was here. And I was like, why
Grow,
is
well,
that?
because we grow everything here. So like California grows everything, so all the produce and everything like that. It's like it's right there. We don't have to ship it. So like in Illinois, if like you buying, in December, if you're buying strawberries, like that's coming from California. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
That's a trade
So
off.
that is very interesting. But look, I gotta go back to you being awesome and stuff. So he said, well, there it is. So when it came to your journey to, producing all these things and then getting to like Kevonstage Studios and being a major producer on that, how, wrong question I'm thinking. What's your favorite thing about being in that space?
My favorite thing about being where I am,
Mm-hmm.
delegation. That's my favorite thing, is that there's a lot of times there's things that I don't want to do that I don't have to. And I just ask somebody else to do it. That's my favorite thing. That's pretty cool. And also, I mean, I genuinely love people. And so like I love to be able to get to meet so many people that are just doing really interesting stuff and cool stuff and that, a lot of people know who I am in the industry now. So it's just like, oh, I'll meet somebody that's a big creator or whatever. Like they know who I am. They're like, oh yeah, you do the podcast with Cleo, you've made Kevonstage Studios, you've shot all these other things. And it's just like there's like this seeing eye to eye with people especially some of them that I'm like a fan of. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just like you meet somebody, like, man, I'm a fan of your content. They're like, yo, I'm a fan of your content. I'm like, what? Like, that's pretty cool. I was like, thank you. I'm not even really, I don't even be on camera like that. Like, normally I'm just the one that's, behind the curtain pulling the strings.
I think the first time I like saw you was on cam. Like I would hear your name and like when Kevin on stage and everybody would say, "Oh, Brennan this, Brennan that," and it's like, who is this person? And then the first time I saw was it was during the first Keep Your Distance, and
Hmm.
that was when you had came up, and I was like, "Oh, he did all that. Okay, we here with it. I love this."
Because, I did the introduction. Because I'd always say, I would always introduce Kev on Keep Your Distance, right?
Hmm.
Yeah. But the funny thing is that wasn't like by design where it's just like, all right, Brennan, you're the one that's gonna do it. It was mostly just like the very first Keep Your Distance, like it was getting ready time to go up on stage, and then Kev just looked over at me like, wait, who's gonna introduce me? And I was just like, I looked at the director, Tony's like, you want to introduce me? He's like, hell no. I was just like, okay, I'll do it, I guess. And that's how it happened. And then after they were like, yeah, that was easy. And it's a weird thing to ask somebody because it's not like I'm doing a set. It's not like there's like anything else besides literally like, hey, welcome to Keep Your Distance, come to the stage, Kev on stage, give it up for him. Like that's it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not like it's a huge honor to do this. It's literally just somebody needs to make it so that Kev's not walking into a dry stage. And so it didn't really seem appropriate to try to bring somebody else in just to do that. Because you bring another comedian in, you put them on a stage with a microphone, then it becomes a performance. It's not just a utilitarian thing. So yeah, I mean that's kind of how that happened. Like I was just like, yeah, I'm not here. I'm not a comedian. So like I'm not gonna get up here and try to make anything happen. I'm just gonna do what's necessary and get off the stage. So yeah, it's like funny thing is most people didn't see that because most people didn't show up to Keep Your Distance on time to watch the stream. So like, like I would do it and by the time I'm done, like half the people are there. And by the time, the first comedian's done, then the full audience is actually there. So I always imagine that mo most people didn't see me anyway.
Look, but we look. I being one of the people, we saw you.
Hey, look, I see you on time. You did better than me today.
Look, again, thank you for being a little bit late because I needed to eat.
Yeah, man,
So,
put me on blast. It's cool, whatever. I was late, but I communicated.
you
I
said it
communicated.
first. You said it first.
I
It
did, I
was
did, I
you.
did.
But
But
like when it,
you can be late if you communicate. I'm going.
absolutely, I agree. When it came to you, like again, because keep your distance happened in the swing of COVID. How how did you guys come up with that during COVID, where a time where everybody's like, oh, we can't be around each other. What is this? Why is everybody here? How did you guys manage to pull that off?
So a producer named Randy Kulina and Tony Valentino are two of my business partners.
Mhm.
They also do freelance work sometimes. And during the pandemic, everyone was struggling to get some work. And so they landed a job with a white comedian who was doing a live stream comedy show. And they went and did it with him and saw that he made a bunch of money off of it. And they came back to me and said, Brennan, do you see what this man just did? And they showed me the videos like that. Like, do you think any of the comedians we work with could do this? And I'm like, their audience, our comedians that we work with, audience is way bigger than his. And he made how much? So, I ended up pitching it to Tony Baker. And Tony was just like, I don't do digital comedy. And I was just like, done. And that was it. That was into that conversation. No, Tony's a very business, what's the way to put it? Tony Baker is pretty much like he doesn't want to be in meetings. He doesn't want to see paperwork. He, for the most part, doesn't want to talk about business. Like he's not a businessman. He's a comedian. Like he's an artist. Like all he wants to do is be on stage and performing. Like that, everything else is like details to him.
Mm,
So when he heard the term digital performance, he was thinking about like I don't know if you remember, there was a lot of like LED wall screens that
yeah.
LED walls and companies and studios that came up during the pandemic, thinking that they are going to be what's next. And they tried to do stand-up comedy with it with like a bunch of people's faces on the screens for the comedians, and it was just really it didn't work because there was a delay. You know what I'm saying? You tell a joke and there's like a 20-second delay before you can tell if anyone's laughing or not.
Mm,
Comedians need that instant gratification of the laughs to understand where they are with their audience and what's going on.
mm,
And so this other comedian who did it, he did it with a live audience, but he just brought like a couple friends and families in. It was only like 15, 20 people in there, but that's all he needed. And so then he sold the tickets to the live stream show. I was like, yo, he made some money. So I presented to Tony Baker. He said no. And then that put me back in my head. And I was just like, maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. So then I called another comedian who I'm close with, who I knew didn't have the following to really be able to support it, but had the wherewithal to understand if this is a real opportunity or not, to hear more. So I just called Tahir. I was like, Tahir, is this a bad idea? And he was just like, let me think about it. He hangs up and he picks up the phone and calls Kev. He's like, Kev, you need to call Brennan. Like, Brennan has this idea. Y'all need to do this. And so then Kev calls me. And at the time, I didn't have Kev's number. I didn't really know Kev. You know what I'm saying? So he calls me. I had met him, but I didn't really know him.
mhm,
He calls me. I was like, well, why didn't you call me? I was like, "Yeah, this, I didn't even have this number. Who are you? I was like, it's Kev. I was like, who is Kev? He said, Kev wants to say, oh, Kev. Oh, okay. Sure. And I didn't know him in the space of like, I didn't even know what his following was. I didn't know about his Patreon. I didn't know anything. I literally was just like, he's one of the other comedians. Like, let me look and see what his numbers look like to see if he might even be able to do this. And I was like, yeah, he might be able to do this. And so that's how Keep Your Distance got started. And then, to alleviate all of the fears of the comedians, I was like, we need to have a live audience. I at the time had to stay, what did I have? What was I gonna say? No, so we had a studio and then we had a big parking lot in that studio. And our studio had a big wall, like a big wall and a big area of parking lot behind it.
I
And so
remember that.
and so that's we were like that. I was talking to Tony Valentino. He's like, "How are we gonna do this? How are we gonna pull this off?" And like, I remember we walked outside and I looked at the big wall. I looked at the parking lot. I was like, "We can do it right here." He's like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "Let's build a stage and put it up against this wall right here, or build a stage right here, and let's get a muralist in here to paint this wall so it looks cool as a backdrop, and let's have an audience sit out here, right here, and let's COVID test everybody." And they just sat there and looked at the sky. I was like, "That could work." And so I found a muralist to paint the back. We built a stage and then we brought audience in and, COVID tested them all. And there you go. Keep your distance.
And and like you guys doing that also helped from what I saw, because I saw every single one of them. Y'all were keeping people going, people who were going through it at that time. Y'all were keeping us like, yes, we needed this. At the end of this week, we are good. We're gonna pay our 15 because I'm a Patreon member. Cool. But like you guys having that wall back there and it being in that location the first time y'all did it, it to me, from what it looked like, it gave comedians comfort because they were able to play off of it. Where it's like, where are we at? Look at what we doing here. Kev got us back in this thing right here. And it's like that, like seeing them actually like do their craft in this space was honestly amazing. It was amazing. I don't know how y'all chose all the comedians, but y'all did y'all thing with it.
Kev did that.
Y'all-
Kev did a really good job of casting comedians, and
Mm,
the one thing I'll say that was really interesting about the whole experience is that it seemed to be something that was very therapeutic for these comedians because all of them they make a living traveling and being on stage, and none of them had been on stage for a very long time. Like most of them had been on stage for almost a year at that point. So, and now they're going to go in front of possibly the biggest audience they've ever seen. Like we're getting what 20, 30,000 people watching live. So this is a stadium, to be blunt. Like this is a stadium of people that you're performing in front of. And so you wouldn't believe the level of nerve some of these comedians had. Like they were nervous. They're like, yo, I haven't done anything on stage in so long. It's gonna be 30,000 people. Like what? So they were backstage. Some of them were backstage tripping. So that was pretty unique to see. But then afterwards, every single one of them had the same experience. Almost all of them had the same experience of just like, yo, I needed that. Like that was incredible. That was amazing. Like, thank you. Like thank you for letting me get on stage in front of an audience. Thank you for giving me the exposure. Because a lot of comedians like their numbers went up drastically after they went on that stage because people like yourself would be like, oh, I like that comedian, follow them. And so now their social media becomes more relevant because of what they did during the pandemic, which was pretty cool.
no, that yeah, you guys helping all the comedians, and then with the comedians doing what they do, helping the community in a time where we didn't know what was exactly going on. That was like all amazing. And another question, how do you keep a straight face when you're in the room with Tony, Tahir, and Kev and Angel? Because seeing them work together,
Yeah,
I'm just like, dang, I would not be able to keep a straight face in anything I do.
you don't. Like, what do you mean? How do you keep a straight face? Like, you mean like not laugh out loud?
Yeah.
Like just laugh quietly. Like you turn away, you do whatever you got to do, but you don't keep a straight face. Like, no. The answer is no. And the thing is, if you did keep a straight face, then they feel like they weren't doing a good job. Because at the end of the day, they're all comedians, so they're still looking for that feedback, even if it's from a professional team. They're
Mhm.
still looking to see that you are paying attention or that you're into what they're doing. So you're giving them positive feedback by like chuckling or smiling or whatever. They want that. And so it's not like you're not supposed to keep a straight face.
I just
Mhm.
wonder how they don't laugh half the time out loud.
Yeah, how does Tony keep a straight face? Like, has he ever given you the technique,
Tony Valentino?
Tony Baker? Because he keeps the straightest face I've ever seen a comedian keep. And I've been watching comedy
Um,
for all
well,
my
I
life.
think it's because Tony studied pretty heavily as an actor. You know
Oh.
what I'm saying? And so like he's a real actor. Tony Baker is a real actor. Just like, Angel also studied extensively as an actor. It's like they both can keep a straight face because they've trained to. You know what I'm saying? They went to acting school and it's just like, yo, during a performance, you're performing. You're not yourself, you're someone else. You're a character of yourself, you're whatever. And so you just gotta disassociate. And that's something that most actors can do. So that's what I would say. It's not necessarily him being Tony. It's more so like, no, like you're an actor. So you're on stage right now, perform. And that's what he's doing.
Mm. So did you, because again, know you do everything Kevonstage Studios. Did you ever help with like all deaf also? Or was that just not your thing?
All Def has always, since before COVID, All Def has used my facilities. So they
Oh.
film in our space and then, I'm pretty cool with them, but like I don't produce anything for them, like, but I know everybody over there. Like they all know me, I know them. Like I have plenty of meetings and stuff or whatever, but mostly it's just like they use me as a service provider. Like they're like, oh, we need to film in LA to come to my studio. They might need some cameras, I might need some recommendations on crew or whatever, so they might ask me for that. But that's pretty much it. So, and they help with some YouTube stuff and all that, but I don't directly do anything for All Def now.
Mm. So in all the projects that you've done, which one was your favorite? Where you were like, I do this time and time again if given a chance.
It's funny you asked that because it's a project that you've never seen. It's a project that no one's ever seen because it hasn't come out. I don't know, were you on the app when it was out?
Yes.
Do you remember there was a show that we did called Tagged?
Yeah.
It was the prank show, Tahir's prank show.
Yeah.
Did you see the episode that we tagged Pat Cloud?
Yes. A
So
hilarious episode.
So you will know the reference is that you remember that every episode of Tagged
Mhm.
was tagged along with another production that Transit Pictures was doing.
Mhm.
And so that production that we were doing in Alaska was a show that I came up with called Black to Nature. Whereas you take a influencer and a black uh steward of outdoors to a really unique space like a national park or something like that and be able to get them out there to experience it because black people don't really go to national parks stuff like that. And so it's almost like a reality experience of just like why aren't we here, what's going on, what's this like. And then it kind of turned into what I call Pat Geo because Pat has this thing called Pat Geo, but I love the idea of Pat Geo of like going and exploring the world with him because he's just so innocent and ignorant of the world, or he doesn't know anything. Like we took him to Alaska in, I think it was in July or August, and he was just like, "Where, number one, where's the snow? Number two, where are the penguins?" I'm like, "Bro, it's August." You know what I'm saying? Like you don't understand how the tilt of the Earth works. Like there's a whole time of the year where Alaska is hot. You know what I'm saying? The other half of the year is frozen. But he didn't know that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that. He didn't know anything about bears. He didn't know, like, you know what I'm saying? There's so much stuff he doesn't know anything about. And so we shot an episode of Black to Nature with Pat. And so now I want to make a show with Pat, to be able to travel the world and experience the world through his eyes because it's pretty unique to be able to travel with that guy. He's pretty hilarious. So that's what I would do. You're like, Brennan, what could you do? What show would you be on producing if you could shoot any and produce any show? It'd be that one.
Does he know that you already told him that he gonna do it? Does he know that yet?
Absolutely.
Okay.
100%.
As
Yeah,
long
yeah.
as he know.
We just looking for people to pay for it. That's where we are now.
Look, look, just post everything. Just post everything. Y'all need some good funding because just seeing Pat talk about the water already is a hilarious feat. I just crack up
All I'm
every
gonna
time
say
he
is
thinks anything ocean.
that episode of Black to Nature that we shot with Pat had some of the funniest moments I've ever seen filmed in anything. And it wasn't because Pat was being funny, it's because of things that would happen to Pat. Like, like there was a lot of things that happened while we were filming that were just insane. Like you just couldn't plan it. You couldn't plan these things. They just happened. Like, and I'm not even gonna give it
Us
away.
one, just tell us one little thing that's not super funny, but it was like, dang, that really happened.
We got chased by a bear. Like, yeah, like a
The
mama,
whole every,
Don't just count it.
Cubs walk by mama bear.
Oh,
Like whole crew drops stuff, runs. Like, and then one of our crew members, and this part wasn't on camera. This is just something that happened. One of my crew members, we had bear mace, and she freaked out and decided to spray the bear mace, but sprayed it at us, and then hit us
oh,
all with bear mace while we're trying to run from the bear. So now half of us are blind. I had to be Superman and try to save one of the clients that was there with us from all of it because she got blinded and was like stuck and couldn't move. So I had to pull her up and like, no, get up the hill, come up with me, and like grab her hand and pull her out of it. So it was like ridiculous, but shit like that.
oh
how
my
how did you use
goodness.
the equipment?
Mhm.
Did y'all, I'm assuming that the I'm
Wait till the
assuming
bear left?
I'm assuming they had to wait till the bear left to pick up any equipment, or they were just
Oh,
like,
absolutely, absolutely.
I would have chalked it up to insurance because I wouldn't have went back. I've been like,
Yeah, and it's like also you can say chalk it up to insurance all you want, but that tells me that you have not dealt with production insurance, number one, and number two, you also don't know the value of the stuff that we bring because
oh
insurance.
no, look, I do. I went to school. I got a whole film major.
All
I
I'm saying then
Yeah, I got all
is
the insurance on all of my equipment. I'm just
all
like,
I'm saying.
okay,
Have you done the claims?
I don't think I've had to do one yet.
That's my point. You're like, I chalk it up to insurance like it's nothing. Like, no, it takes forever.
Yeah,
Number one. And number two, it's not guaranteed you're gonna get it what you want back. Because they might say, yeah, you bought this for $50,000, but we're
but
depreciating it
now
down
it
to
is.
30. Yeah,
Mhm.
we're gonna depreciate it down to 30. It's like, but it still costs $50,000. Like, well, yours is only worth 30, so we're giving you 30. So now you have to pay $20,000 extra to get the thing that you already had.
Oof.
See what my point?
Yuck.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just not worth it. So like, it's like, and also like it wasn't like we ran far. It was like we saw the bear ran,
And you
kept
was like,
going,
let me go about my business. I'm not
and
finna
then we were
bother
like, all
this
right, let's go get
bear.
our stuff. And we got our stuff, and then we left. You know,
Y'all really got chased by a bear.
we were on a riverbed, and the bears was coming down the riverbed, and we didn't see it until it was pretty close. We were like, oh shit! And then the bear saw us and then started running, and so that's when we ran up the hill against so like this riverbed, and we ran up the hill back towards the street, and the bear ran up to the riverbed right to where we were, stopped, looked at us,
Dang.
and then kept going down the riverbed. So
Oh,
it definitely started running because of us, but it decided not to follow us into the street.
he probably was like, oh, they're fine.
Pretty
Nah,
much,
oof. I mean, has that changed? Like, even going through that, you're still like, I want to do this nature show.
for
I
sure.
want all
Yeah,
of
yeah,
it.
yeah. I have an adventurous nature, so like I like to be outside. I like to be traveling and doing stuff. So for me, it's just par for the course. You know what I'm saying? Like stuff when you're going to travel and be adventurous, then things are going to happen. That's just what it is. Like I almost died of amoebiasis one time because I was being too adventurous in Cambodia. And so it's just like you gotta roll with the punches. When you want to be an adventurer, you understand that adventurers are constantly dealing with bullshit like pain, sickness, illness, injury. Like you're gonna deal with it when you're doing unique, wild things. That's just what's gonna be.
Do you,
And you said that just so casually. You said, "Yeah, I almost died in Cambodia."
do you
I
Yeah.
have
understand it now.
do you have to get like special
Hmm.
health
Oh,
insurance for traveling the world like that?
um, Chris asked, "Do you get specialized health insurance for traveling the world, or is it just like?"
Absolutely. No, yeah, 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 for sure. I mean, if you're just doing it as an individual, it's like there's like companies like Travel Nomad or whatever, you can just get like traveler's insurance and stuff. Strongly recommend that. If you're gonna travel, then you should get that because you might have health insurance here,
Yeah.
but how does that work when you're in Thailand? You know
Mm.
what I'm saying? It's just like it might, but the paperwork level is gonna be crazy versus you just buying a policy that's designed specifically for that, for the trip that you're on to the place that you're supposed to be going, priced to that. So as soon as
Mm.
something goes down, you know exactly what to do and who to call versus you just traveling raw, then good luck.
Why are you not on the camera more with all the people? Because you are hilarious. You
I
are
didn't even do anything.
you are just naturally funny. Because like
Oh,
the way
thank
that
you.
you and like the way that you explain things, I'm just like, he's just explaining it so casually. If I would have been chased by a bear, I'd be like, all right, now look, now the bear, it was coming at me from this angle, and I was like, what we doing? That'd have been me. You're just like, yeah, that bear, it almost had
Look,
us
I
for
could
a
have done
second.
that. I could have made the story very anecdotal. But at the same time, like that, I was trying to give the perspective of like all of us versus my perspective. Because my perspective was, like I saw niggas running. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that was my perspective. I saw niggas running, so I started running. You know what I'm saying? Then I, saw the spray. I literally, matrix dodged the white
You did?
cloud. I'm the spray of like I just barely missed the bear spray because she sprayed it and it got on all everybody and I literally saw the cloud and just like ran around the cloud and then saw the people that were in the cloud that were still on the riverbed and then it was like come towards my voice and grabbed them and brought them up to where they were supposed to be. So I mean like I could have explained it like that, but I thought it would be more interesting to be like, yo, here's genuinely what happened versus what I thought happened was I was just like I thought maybe a tiger, I mean a tiger, a bear or something like that was chasing us, but I didn't know. Like niggas like screamed and ran. So I'm just like, all right, well, I guess that's what we doing.
So
I'm
you
not
didn't
gonna be the
even
one
see
standing
the
there like,
bear.
what's
You was
going
just
on?
running. You didn't even see the bear. You said, I'm not taking risks.
Now the
I'm not
wildest
in.
part is like
Like
the person who was like our black steward, we had all these trainings with her where she was telling us what to do and not to do with bears because we knew there was gonna be bears. Like it's not like a will there be bears? Like there will absolutely be bears. So that's why we had bear mace, right? But funny part is like she trained us was like, look, if bears are getting close to you, whatever, the one thing you don't want to do is run. Do not run. Man, that bear started running at us. She was the first motherfucker to run. Like she was the first ones. I was just and so like after we got up there and everything was cool, I was just like, you just told us not to run so we could be the food. Like you wanted us to be the ones to get. She was like, no, I just didn't even. I got scared. Nah, nah, nah. I know I shouldn't have done it, but I was like, nah, you set us up. You trying to save yourself. I see what you did you know, because she was out. Like that bear started coming. She was the first one up the hill and gone. Like she wasn't playing on it. She lives there. She lives there. You know what I'm saying?
And
And
she
she was
dipped
just
off
like,
on
nope,
y'all. She
nope,
said,
nope.
nah, cause I'm not finna play with y'all.
No, and then
And
we had a
she
girl that
did
was
set
with
y'all
us.
up.
slide
I
accompanied
think
you
it's a
though.
setup. She set y'all up. She told y'all not to move and she dipped off. You
There
right.
was one girl, there was one woman there was there with us. I'm gonna say her name too. She's the same one who did the bear spray thing. Look her up, Katrina Mercier. I don't even know how to say her name. Katrina. She's a comedian as well, but she was working with us as a production assistant on that project. And she's the one who sprayed the bear spray. So she made that mistake. And she also, like the day before, we're driving down the street and some bears like start getting really, really close to the street. And so like there's people outside, like we get outside, oh wow, look at the bear, look how close they are. And the bear started coming towards us. So I was like, everybody, because I understood bears. Like I'm not saying like I'm a nature guru or something like that, but like I did my research before we got there. I understood how strong they were. I understood how aggressive they can be when they choose to be, and I understand how dangerous they can be. And so we got into the car. Like, so I was like, hey, my crew, I got real serious. Like, no jokes, because like you said, I'm a silly dude. But like in this moment, I was like, hey, we're in the crew. We're in the car. So she was the driver. We get in the car, it's me and her and somebody else in the back. And the other crew got in, they got it and pulled off. And then Katrina is just laughing. Like she's like, "Ah, this is funny. Ah." And the bear's like coming up to the car. And I'm like, yo, this is not funny. Like, and she just thought I was being like, am I allowed to cuss fully on this?
Yeah, that's fine.
No, she was acting like I was being like a bitch. Like she like I was being a little scared bitch or some shit. And I couldn't believe it. I'm just like, yo, like what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? My side of my car is what's facing the bear. You know what I'm saying? And she's just like stopping in the middle of the street and laughing, like, Brittany, calm down. It's fine. It's fine. And then like the next day, like, so she's making fun of me. And then the next day she got educated. She saw what a bear could do. You know what I'm saying? Like she saw what a bear could do. And she was just like, oh. I was like, yeah, a bear can rip a car door off of a car like it's nothing. And there's literally nothing here. It's like a little thin pane of glass. You think that's gonna stop a bear? You know what I'm saying? It's like if it really wanted to hurt me or do something, which they
It
can
could
do and
have.
have done out here, it's gonna do it. And she didn't realize the seriousness of the situation. So she was making fun of me. And I was pissed. I was like, you literally just put my life at risk. Like, why did you do that? Everybody else left. All the people told us all the training we need to leave, all this stuff we got to go. And you just laughing because you don't see any real problems here. And then the next day, she's the one who freaked out and sprayed, everybody, with the bear mace. And I'm just like, see what I'm talking about? Them junks are scary, ain't they? She was just like, you
My
right?
fault. My fault.
It's not.
Yeah, but
Never
so
meant to
yeah,
do that.
It's
we had a
about.
lot of little adventures out there. We saw wolves, we saw moose, we saw all kind of stuff.
See, I could, I could take seeing a bear.
This
I
was the
cannot take
Alaska.
seeing a
This was
moose.
the Alaska one, right?
Yeah,
We
that's
fed the moose.
Oh,
There's
there's
baby moose.
around
We
there.
fed them with bottles. It was crazy.
nah. I've I've seen moose just walk up and tear up cars. I don't have it in me to be like, let me
You
stay
know
here.
that bears eat moose, right?
Yes.
What?
Yes.
I'm learning a lot.
Outside, why are you scared of the moose? Like, I'm first and foremost, moose are terrifying.
They're
But like,
fucking.
I'm more scared of a moose.
It's
You can get away from a moose. A
Really?
bear can run faster than you, it can swim faster than you, and it can climb better than you. You can't get away from a bear. Like, you can't escape a bear without like a locked closed door or a vehicle. You will not win. If the bear decides you are going to be for dinner right now and you are in the wilderness with the bear, unless you have bear mace or a gun, you are dinner for the bear. That's just what it is. You're not going to outsmart it. You're not going to outrun it. You're not going to outclimb it. You're not going to outswim it.
they run too fast.
Dang.
It's like you can climb up a tree and a moose is going to leave you alone. You know what I'm saying?
Very true.
That
I'm not gonna go around the moose either.
Them things is that look,
a
maybe
bear will be right up there with you, next to you in a tree. Like, so what we hide from? Oh, wait, it's me. Ow. You know what I'm saying?
it's me. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. That's crazy. I pray that that show gets I hope it gets all the funding it needs. Because on top of being like educational, it's like it's already going to be funny. Because you guys
Yeah.
are naturally funny.
Well, we did 3 episodes. We did one with Tony Baker, we did one with Tahir, and we did one with Pat.
Go
So
ahead.
they're already shot. And the partner that we worked with to be able to like that helped fund it initially, they had a full turnover, a staff turnover.
Mm,
So the people who I worked with on it no longer work there, and then the people who got there don't care about it. So they were just like, "It's yours, keep it." So now we don't have a space for it to distribute it. So we just kind of have to figure out what we want to do with it. But I'm working on that. Don't worry about that. I'm doing all that.
I can't wait to see the episodes. I'm be like, okay, now go ahead. Look, I send the email. So now this is what you was talking about. Now you should have cussed her out a little bit better. That's gonna be my
Mm,
whole thing. You should have cussed out harder. That me.
cuss that, not even harder, harder. I got it. Harder.
Look, that's the
You cuss that
Southerners
harder.
kid. That's the Alabama coming on back up here. That's
I
that
saw that. Yeah, you definitely went all the way there.
because there's no way. There's no way I'm getting chased by no bear. And there's
You
no
ain't
way
got to
I'm
get
getting
chased.
sprayed
Just
by
lay
the
down and
mace.
take it.
I'll be dead. This is not the Revenant. Okay, is that what that movie is called? Where that Leonardo DiCaprio was getting slung
Mhm.
around like a rag doll? I ain't got that in me. I got too much to lose if I get up on out of here. I'm okay.
Look, all I'm saying is that it was worth it
And
for
this is
what you get.
I
It's
can't wait.
beautiful out there. The most beautiful place I've ever been in my life is Alaska in the summer.
Really? And you
I
said you
traveled over 30 countries. I traveled over 30 countries. I'll tell you right now, the most beautiful place I've been to is Alaska in the summer.
mm,
Easily, hands down.
dang. So other than shooting the show there, what about it, would make you be like, I want to go there like maybe every year, besides like the just the scenery? Like, is there any kind of food that y'all ate where y'all like, oh, this is some fantastic? Okay.
No, like you're not food. You don't go to Alaska for the food. You go for the fresh food. The fish was amazing, but like ain't no chefs up there. Like you know what I'm saying, like you go up there to cook your own food. Like you don't go up there to do it like to do anything else like that. You go up there if you like wilderness, then you like Alaska. If you want to go fishing, you want to go camping. You know what I'm saying? Like, or you just really love fresh air and nature. Because the thing is, you'll never see nature at such like a volume outside of like going to a jungle. So I've been to the jungle before. That's the largest volume and density of nature I've ever seen.
Mm.
But like it's like that all year round in the jungle. But it's different when it's just like there's only a short window of time that we all can be here before the winter comes. So everybody's just rushing to get all the energy they can. So you see bears around and there's moose and then there's fish and there's, what I'm saying, everything is alive. There's bugs everywhere. It's just like everything, grass and trees and everything's just growing aggressively and, fighting for space and energy because they know there's only so much time they can do it. And so it's just really cool to see. It's like the whole world just turns blue. Excuse me, turns green and beautiful. There's whales and stuff like in all the like inlets and stuff like that. So we're just on a boat and it's like, oh yeah, there's some killer whales over there. Oh, look at that. It's a humpback. You're just like, what? Like we're just on a boat that's like a ferry to get from one place to another, and it's just whales. You know what I'm saying? Like this is crazy. So it's just like, and it's like bald eagles everywhere. Like bald eagles, when we were kids, bald eagles were in danger. They're like, man, we might not have bald eagles by the time you're an adult. Now they're nuisances. They're digging through trash cans and barrels and stuff like that. I have, I think the bald eagle is like one of the most appropriate like national like representations of a country ever, because it's like the United States is just like, yo, this is us, the bald eagle. Look how beautiful and powerful, majestic this bird is. It's like all those things are true. There's a lot more to that truth. Like when you watch TV and they say it's a bald eagle and you hear that sound, right? That's not a bald eagle. That's a red falcon. Bald eagles sound like shit. Like they do not have a majestic, like awe-inspiring sound. Like they had to replace their sound because it sounds so bad. And then also, bald eagles, like, yeah, you see them fishing and they'll grab a big salmon out the water and then carry the giant thing and fly out and go eat it and feed it to their kids, right? It's like that's what you think about when you think about a bald eagle, but it's like they're scavengers too. Yeah, they can do that, but if there's if there's a dead carcass over here, they in it. You know what I'm saying? If there's there's garbage dumpsters over here, there's gonna be three eagles in that dumpster digging through it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, yeah, that's the symbol of our country right there. Look how beautiful it. Look at those majestic claws digging through that garbage heap. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just crazy because it just brings reality home. It's like you're like, yeah, you think of an eagle in the way that they've been portrayed in media, but then when you're around a bunch of eagles, you're like, yeah, they're big, they're powerful, they're beautiful, but also they're more than that. You know what I'm saying? They're a complex creature, that just because it looks a certain way doesn't mean that it is,
Mm.
which is why I think is a good representation of the United States. Because
I,
we digging through a hell of garbage right now.
I just,
We digging through all the garbage right now. When you dig through garbage, you get dirty. Who knew? Who knew?
look, as a as a black person, I'm in this stage of life where it's like all this stuff is going on. I'm gonna mind my business a little bit. I'll mind this a little bit for a couple minutes until it's time for me to actually get up and do it because it's so much going on. Like how is
I'm locked in. I'm locked in. I mean, I'm not particularly being directly active, but I'm paying
yeah.
very close attention to what's going on.
Oh no, absolutely.
Um, I mean, I studied political science, so for me, like I understand it on a different level than most. But also I've never stopped being locked in since I went to school, and so I'm just like, this is all important. Like most people, if nobody takes anything away from this, whoever's listening or whatever, is that people don't understand how powerful our governments really are. The governments decide where you can live, what the air is that you can breathe, what the water is you can drink, and what the food is that you can eat. They decide how you can live. They decide how you can live, who you can live with. It literally, government ultimately decides every single aspect of your life. Just because you've been born into America, you didn't realize it because our government allowed us these freedoms
Hmm.
that they didn't encroach upon a lot of the freedoms that they could have. But like go live in Iran. Go be a woman in Iran. Come back. Tell me how free you felt. You know what I'm saying? Tell me how that government worked for you there. You know what I'm saying? And now that we're heading into a different phase of what our government looks like, it's going to be a different experience for us. Ask the people in Texas next to the riverbanks. You know, they didn't get warned, but they expected to be warned. Why? Because the government's supposed to do that. It's supposed to protect us. Is it? Because the guy that was supposed to do it, he took the package that Trump offered. He
Hmm.
took the package of saying, I'm just going to retire early, even though I'm the only one in this whole area that knows how to do this job. I haven't trained anyone to replace me, but y'all trying to get rid of people in the government. So I'm just going to go. Y'all figure it out. Now it's your problem. And nobody figured it out. So that early warning system didn't exist because it just wasn't there.
No, I understand. Look, as a former news producer and having to sit through and go through all these stories and really looking at everything, it is mind blowing how much does not get shown, especially with me being a producer. Well, previously being one. Because I would have to like pick and choose. Like there were certain times where I forget what I think it might have been like the whole Ukraine thing was happening where they were, going to war with Russia and everything. And what ended up happening was there was another genocide. There was a genocide going on in Africa. I forget which country it was going on to. In that newsroom, I was the loudest black person being like, why is this not being told? Hold on a minute, wait. Seeing that the stories are like the producer has the opportunity to pick those stories. And oh no, that was a huge, being black was a huge part of it. It was such a huge part of it. Because I had to ask him, I said, okay, I just want to ask you real quick, sir. I'm over here talking to my manager. I said, what is the difference between this story in Africa and this story with Ukraine? I said, can you tell me a difference? I said, if you could tell me a difference, I'll run Ukraine again. If you can't, I'm running this. He
You
was
know,
like, he was like, well, I said the only difference is I was like, the only difference is that they black over there.
there's two differences though. So I think there's two differences that might be equally important. If I was that news producer, here's what I would have said to you.
Mhm.
Being and for me, I first and foremost, I agree with you, and I'm on team. We should be talking about the things,
Mhm.
right? But if I'm that news producer, I put myself in that shoes, and you came to me and asked me that question, I would say, well, the difference is that we have strong economic ties and we're technically in another Cold War with Russia
True.
right now. And we are allied with Ukraine. So we're giving Ukraine billions of dollars right now to defend themselves. Whereas we're also fighting against Russia because they're trying to stop us from doing all the things that we want to do, especially in the UN. So our interests as a country are much stronger to the countries that we're putting money in, as well as our abilities to police the rest of the world are much stronger in Ukraine and Russia than they are in these African nations that we don't have that much of a footprint in. So the reason why we're going to run this is because our tax dollars are going to Ukraine. Our tax dollars aren't going over to this, thing over here. They've been going to Ukraine long before. Now, I'm not saying that's right or that's wrong, but I am saying is that more people are going to care more about what's directly affecting them. And this Ukraine-Russian war affects Americans much more directly than what's going on in Africa, just simply because of where the money goes and also the history of where we are. That's a nice elbow, bro.
I didn't know he was bald till
Oh,
just now.
you see it. How you not know?
Because I've never seen
I
his face.
forget my photo, G. I forgot you never seen his face.
No.
I forget.
How you doing? It looks comfortable. How you doing? I know it's a nice, lovely brown elbow in the
I can't
background.
deal with him. But so my thought process of it was like, yeah, the racial aspect of it, but where like living in the Midwest, especially in this city where it is ranked fifth, I think worst for Black people in general. Like my whole thing was I need you guys to see Black people as humans. I need y'all to see that we go through the exact same things that you guys actually go through also. Like in
Mhm.
the newsroom, when I tell you I would be over there screaming to the top of my lungs because they would have like before I got there, it was nothing but negative stories about Black people. It was always, let me show you the crime. They did this. Here's their mugshot. And I would see so many just fantastic stories in the community that Black folks, were a part of. So I had to tell them, I said, listen, I'm gonna need y'all to understand. I get it. You guys do not know what I'm going through because you are not Black. You guys do not have that little aspect of it. And that's understandable. I said, but with me being in this newsroom and us having an audience that is also Black, I'm gonna need y'all to come on and actually show these positive stories. Like I yelled at them because I'm like, why are you guys sitting up here open y'all mouths about communities that you are not a part of? Why are you opening your mouths, not doing the things that you're supposed to do to serve the community? All you're doing is showing that we are criminals. That's not what we are. I was like, you see, I'm in this room. So guess what? Every single day I'm in this bad boy. What we're going to do is show some positive Black stories. Why? Because they're everywhere. You just don't want to look for them because you can't relate, but your audience can. And when
Mhm.
I tell you, the news director, he looked at me, he said, I looked at him, I walked off. I'm tired of dealing with it. I walked away. I said, I'm not doing this with y'all. Y'all gonna show these stories about these positive Black people? Because they ended up, instead of them showing a very positive story about something going on in the community, They had to do with black people. They decided to do a story about an effing snowman. I said, now you're doing a story about a snowman, but
Because he's white.
oh, when I tell you I snapped out, I snapped out. I said, what are we doing?
He's the purist.
I said, what are we doing? And like, I am happy to say that with my time being there, I did change a lot of different minds. I've changed a lot of different perspectives. And like now they look at black people as like, oh, you are a person. Especially when you're the person, I mean, especially the reporters reporting on everything. Like they would come to me and be like, Kayla, what is this? And I'm like, what do you mean, what is this? And I have to remember, oh, cultural differences. Cultural
Mhm.
differences. Okay, I'm cool. So I have to like relay that to them. And like you being in political science and listen, that first off, that already hits because you already know what's going on with a lot of stuff. So it's like it's okay. Look, I'm gonna say a little yang yang, a little bit yang yang.
Look, I don't claim to be an expert on any of it, but I say I pay attention is what I'll say.
But no, that's like having that background. Like, does that help you guys? Like you having that background, has that helped you financially too when it comes to all the things that have been going on in terms of like
No,
attention?
not
Real?
really. I mean, I don't know how it would. Like, just, I mean, I pay attention to stuff, but like, not really. Like, honestly, if I had been paying enough attention, then I probably could have saved some money because I started to go after some government contracts, USAID specifically.
Mm,
Um, I was going after those contracts right before Trump got elected. I didn't fully read the Project 2025 briefing.
mm,
Didn't realize that one of the first things they want to do was cut USAID. And so we're in the running for this contract, was about to get it, and then they cut the entire agency. So boom, done. So I was just like, all right, well, if I had been paying enough attention, then I probably could have saved myself a lot of time and energy, you know.
mm. But dang, there's so much. You do so much and know so much. You are just a wealth of knowledge.
Well,
First off,
thank you. I do my best.
because you know about animals, and that's way more than I can say about myself. Because I don't like mosquitoes, so I don't really go outside like that. Even though I was raised in Alabama, I'm like, I
Now,
don't
I
know.
get it. I hate mosquitoes too. They love me.
Oh well, you got that old positive. That's what I'm hearing.
I think AB positive or something like that, actually.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. No, I was playing. But just to wrap everything up on a more
Hmm.
positive note, if you could go anywhere in the world, where would you go and why?
I will go to Kenya to get my citizenship. Black people in the United States are eligible for citizenship for showing up to Kenya.
Oh,
Dual citizenship?
like you get dual
Mhm.
citizenship or just citizenship, citizenship?
Dual citizenship. You can get citizenship Kenya. They'll give you Kenyan citizenship for being there, and then you still have your United States citizenship. So you'll have dual citizenship just for going.
How much that cost? See, now that you want to lie, because that is, I never knew that. I knew there were certain countries, but dang,
I don't know the exact cost. But I'm gonna go and I'm gonna do it probably because, especially with the political climate the way it is now, it's like probably be helpful to be like, oh wait, you traveling with your family or whatever. It's like, oh, we gotta get out of here or whatever. And they're like, well, you one of them US motherfuckers? Like, nope, nope, Kenyan. I'm Kenyan.
I
I'm
got
Kenyan. We're
it.
Kenyan and we're black. So what you gonna tell me? I'm not, you know what I'm saying?
I
So
got
I'm
the
just like, yeah,
passport.
Kenyan. And they're like, oh, okay, we don't care about you. You're not politically motivated to be here.
Mm,
So it's just like, having two different passports is a superpower because there's certain countries that you can get into for one, and certain countries you can't for another. So it's like if I'm a Kenyan citizen or a Kenyan resident, a Kenyan citizen, I might be able to go travel to Cuba or Russia, no
mm,
problem. I can't do that as an American citizen. You know what I'm saying?
mm.
So just saying, it gives you the ability to be in places you might not otherwise be able to be, and it gives you a place of like if stuff goes really bad here, then you're like, I'm just gonna go live in Kenya. Why? Because I'm a citizen. You know what I'm saying? Like I can just go buy property there and live. No big deal.
I may have to dabble in that. I may have to dabble. But thank you so much for coming on. You are amazing. Again, a wealth of knowledge. All of your experience that you have, again, amazing. You
Thank you.
guys have, I'm finna be a little sentimental right now because when I found y'all, I
Hmm.
was going through the toughest time in my life. I was going through the toughest time in my life. And you being a producer on Kevonstage Studios and doing the stuff that you did helped me to see them. It helped me see Kev, Angel, Tahir, um, shoot, Pat, Tony, all of them. Because the stuff that you do, even though you don't get your badge of honor, as much as you should, it literally helps save lives. Like I was in that bad of a state. And me being able to talk to you is a full circle moment. It's a full circle
Wow.
moment. And you don't understand how thankful I am that you agreed to talk to a small creator who is just starting out and you being one of my guests that I freaked out about. I'm like, oh my gosh, guys. Oh my gosh, I got Brennan. Oh my gosh. And like my brother was like,
I ain't nobody.
look, you are somebody to me and many millions of people. Just because you are behind the scene does not mean you are not seen. You have done an amazing job. And I'm going to extend an offer to Kev, Angel, Tahir, Pat, all of them, because all of y'all have helped save this girl's life and keep me around my 4 kids. Like, that's
You
how
got four
big.
kids? Okay,
I
sorry, I didn't even know
know.
that.
I know so many people can't tell I got 4 kids. I don't know why. I maybe my energy. But it's like,
I
y'all
think it's impressive anyone has four kids. It has nothing to do with just you. Just somebody just like casually dropping you got four kids. Like, dang, you look like you ain't like you've been sleeping. How?
oh,
Like,
I get some rest. I get some rest.
yeah, I can tell. I'm just like, yo, your kids are terrified of you. Got it. That's what that tells me.
little
Yeah,
nervous, that
I
little
bet you they
nervous.
are. Yeah, that's the only way that happens. Like, don't wake her up. No, no, we don't want them problems. Don't
Look,
we don't
they
want the
sleep before me.
bear.
They sleep before me, and no, they don't want that. My daughter woke me up one time at 1 o'clock in the morning to ask me to change her TV. I said, if you ever do that again, I,
Yeah,
I,
terrifying. Like I
I,
said,
I may
they
have
leave
to
you
leave.
alone. The house could be on fire. They're like, let's wait till it burns towards mom's room before we say something.
There it is. Just give me a second. Just give me a second. No,
Yeah.
wait, less an emergency. But no, seriously, thank you, thank you, thank you for
Thank
all
you for
the things
having me.
you do. And like I told you when I first met you, I said, I don't know how, I don't know when, but I'm going to work with you. I haven't the foggiest, but it's going to happen. I'm already writing it out. So
Technically, you just did.
I don't count this because
Okay, just saying.
I don't
Technically,
count. Well, I guess this does count.
It does
I
count.
guess it does count. I'll let it
yeah, it
count
does.
this one time.
So you already winning. Not saying you fully realize it, but you're already winning.
But no, like again, thank y'all. Look, go ahead and cut that portion out, sent to Kevin, and being like, yo, y'all help save this girl life. This one
No,
here.
I said you're the first person that's ever said anything to me like that before. So for me, it's like I want to take that portion and give it specifically to the creative director, Tony Valentino. Because for us, it's really hard to see the reactions because it's like the reactions are on Kev, Angels, and Tahir's and everybody's pages or in the app or whatever, but it's never directly to us. And so like it's to be able to get the heartbeat of the community and say that people are really affected by what we've done or what we're doing. It hits different because it's like for us, like, yeah, we just making pretty pictures. We ain't really, because that's actually the statement we say all the time. It's like, yo, we're not, this isn't life or death. We're just making pretty pictures. And you're like, no, it is life and death. Actually, like you to be able to help someone deal with whatever mental things or, circumstantial things that are going on and be able to get some laughs, can be a game changer. It's like, no, like this isn't a game. So like I really appreciate hearing that perspective. And it's kind of reinvigorating in the space of like, yeah, we got to keep doing what we do, you know?
And I love the fact that y'all love what y'all do because it shows
Definitely.
in everything that y'all create. Like I'm not gonna have this moment. I ain't gonna do it. But where can everybody find you?
I am on Instagram at Brennon Produces. Brennon produces. That's it.
All
Oh
right.
wait, hold on a second. And I have a podcast, How to Nerd Podcast with Cleo Thomas. That's yeah, How to Nerd Podcast on anywhere you get
Okay.
podcasts, YouTube and all that.
Yeah, he did say
Okay.
Cleo. I was
Okay.
be like, Cleo, Cleo? What the- oh.
Yo, you slept. Chris was like, Cleo, Cleo. That's the
hmm
Cleo.
Like holes, like,
Oh,
zero.
yeah.
Oh, I'm a fan. Oh, how could
He said, I'm a fan. How could you?
Yeah, he's great. Love Cleo. But yeah, we have a podcast together. So
Look, we will invite him on too and not talk about
mhm.
holes because he's much more than just the holes character. Even though he did his thing in that movie,
Yeah.
bruv
That was
got
a
the
long
best
time ago.
R&B. He has the best R&B voice I've ever heard. He has,
He don't sing.
no, but just him talking, like you know how you have the breakdown in the song and then you have that person talking?
he got
That's his
Yeah.
voice.
he got
That's
an
him.
interlude voice. I hate
He
that.
got a good interlude voice. That's what it is. He just his voice silk to me. I'm just like, go ahead and tell a story. Mm-hmm. Turn page. Like that's me with his voice. But
Right.
no, I invite everybody on. Again, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I hope that that nature show gets picked up because I want to laugh and cackle and fall on my floor. I want to have a good time with that. So
I'm with it. Get outdoors. You'll enjoy it. I promise it's worth it. My camera is just doing whatever it wants right now. There we go. Boom.
sometimes it fights with us. But
Yeah.
again, thank you so much. I hope I'm able
Thank
to
you.
speak to you soon, just about whatever. And
Hey, you got my contact. That's how we got here.
oh, I didn't even tell the people. I met him at DreamCon, guys.
Hmm.
I met him at DreamCon. You never know who you're gonna run into when you go into these conventions.
You recognized me at DreamCon, didn't you?
Yeah, because I was like, why does he? I was like, I know this man, but
Yeah,
why do
that's
I
right. You
know him?
recognized me. Yeah.
See, don't say that you're not recognizable. I recognized you,
I
and
appreciate it. Hey, look.
I just got glasses today, so I'm just saying.
Yeah. Welcome
But
to the club.
I don't like it. I feel like I'm looking. I feel like how fish look when they get ready to run into the glass. That's me all day now. I'm just
Okay, I'm gonna leave you. So I gotta go, but I'm gonna leave you with one thought about glasses.
okay.
Is that you might not like them right now, but
Okay.
if you think about all the things that you walk into when it comes to air and all the things that are floating in the world that are happening in front of your face, and how many of those things are gonna not be getting directly into your eyes now because you have something that's blocking that.
I wasn't gonna.
That's for me the most positive perspective I can take about glasses. Like you're riding a bike, you're walking, whatever, you're moving through air. There's things and particles in the air that run into your glasses. They don't run directly into your eyes anymore. The whole point of eyelashes is to be able to try to downplay how much of that really is. But you don't even need them no more because you got these. And so all I'm saying is that, and also you wouldn't believe there's gonna be times in your life where something's gonna flick up and it's gonna hit you in the glasses. That would have been your eye. And you'll be like, oh wow. Oh wow.
I will
Thank
think
you.
positive of it. But anywho, I'm gonna go ahead and let you go. Again, thank you so much for coming
This
on.
ain't Uncle Ruckus, no relation. If you want to be told about yourself, if you want to tell somebody, if you want a Negro woman listening to you tell them about you, then you need to listen to her on what's the name of your podcast, Black Lady?
Tell me about you.
Tell me about who?
You.
Who?
You.
Your Negro ass.